was just a squealing down there. It was so loud when I went to the corner, right?
You gotta wait for me to say
I was like,
it's ready.
man,
All right,
hope they're taking that thing in soon.
because there's a long delay. On it.
Good.
Yeah, we're good.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm going to call the March 3rd Board of Commission meeting to order. Today, we're going to have the prayer by Commissioner Sarkella, followed by the pledge by Commissioner Lee.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather in a free country. We're grateful for the sunshine that you've sent our way. We ask that you would be with us today in our meeting and give us sound and mindful decisions. And we're most grateful, Lord, to serve our friends and family and our neighbors, and of course, work with the members of the county workforce. In your son's most precious name, we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready? Good.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Leslie, roll call, please.
District 1 Chairman John Block,
Present.
District 2 Commissioner Roger Ballard,
Present.
District 3 Commissioner Gary Heberly,
Here.
District 4 Commissioner Bill Sarkella,
Here.
District 5 Commissioner Christine Lee. Here. District 6 Commissioner Evans Ehart is absent. District 7 Commissioner John Moody.
Here.
Thank you, Leslie.
I'll be excusing myself at 1:20.
Okay. Thanks for the heads up, Roger. If there are no corrections or deletions to today's agenda, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Ballard, supported by Commissioner Lee, to adopt the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. I'll entertain a motion to approve our meeting minutes from February 17th.
I'll make that motion.
Support. I have a motion from Commissioner Heberling, supported by Commissioner Sarkella. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. You will receive your correspondence from Jody through email the other day. We're going to move into commissioner reports, and we'll start with Commissioner Moody.
Last night I went to the Village of Melvin's meeting, not a whole lot on the agenda. They did pass their budget for 26 and set a copy fee for 25 cents per page. And they're still waiting on their road striping for this spring sometime. I had Work Township on February 18th. We've all seen probably that they're having some issues down there with some billing, some issues that is kind of controversial down there. So there was not a whole lot at that meeting except for a lot of public comment and the way they're going to change some procedures on doing a few things. Then a couple of days later, on Wednesday, the 25th, they had another special meeting. Went through a lot of stuff with giving their auditors a little bit extra access to a few other bank accounts, adding some additional security cameras to their buildings. Having their they're asking their deputy clerks and their deputy clerk and deputy treasurer to work more hours, at least 4 hours per day, for 4 hours or for 4 days a week right now. And then they're going to have it up to 5 days a week, starting in the summertime. They're going to handle some FOIA requests a little bit differently. This all stems from some late fees and penalties and interests that were accrued for the township over the last 11 years of just shy of $93,000. So the township trustees are trying to recover some of that back through the bond procedure with the clerk and treasurer. So we'll see where that goes over the next few months. Pretty much that's about it. There's they're going to have some new procedures for their FOIAs. Like I said, they have 5 currently sitting there that have not had any attention to here recently. So they're going to be working on that. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, John. I have nothing to report myself. Christine?
I was at the Village of Peck and they had two public hearings. One was about a home rehab, the other one was CBG infrastructure. And they passed a resolution for the CBG grant funding. Public safety, their police car was delayed for delivery. They went over all the activities that were going to happen in the park this summer. The the village manager is applying for a lot of different grants. He talked about a building that needs to be taken down by July 1st to qualify for one of the grants. And they had an open house for the master plan last Monday, and that's all I have to report.
Good. Thank you, Christine. Bill?
Carsonville had their water power audit and their annual fee resolution, fire report, and some inspections on their vehicles. And then also there was some concern about the beat trucks coming into town a little too fast. And I forwarded that information on to the sheriff and to Rock Falls. And Buell Township, they're going through some election training. Their hall construction is getting wrapped up, and they do have a new clerk, Leslie. She appreciates all the help you've been giving her when she calls you with I told her to pick your brain for whatever she needed to know. So we appreciate that because you are a good source. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Gary?
So since last Monday, I've been out of commission. So my day involves getting up in the morning, taking a shower, going to Lazy Boy. Okay. Well, tomorrow's surgery, so
Well, we're glad you're taking care of yourself, and I hope tomorrow goes smoothly for you.
Debbie makes sure of that. So last night I couldn't attend Sandusky City Council. Tonight I'm gonna miss Watertown Township and the Parks Board, and I'll miss Moortown tomorrow night. So I don't have a lot to report, other than I want to get operated on and get feeling better.
Well, you have a better reason than I do. I was just going on vacations. And,
You know,
Like yours is better than Gary's.
if only I'd walked in the front door instead of going around the garage and going in the back door, I wouldn't have fell on ice.
that's hindsight, though. It's always 2020, right?
It is, yeah.
The kind of vacation you're going on, let's hope you don't come back looking like this.
Yeah, I have that one coming up. Yeah, most certainly.
I attended, you're done, I assume.
I'm done, yeah.
I
just have my-
attended City of Marlette last night. Their hot topic was the park and pool. They had a packed house. They were overflowed out into the waiting area, lobby area. They did approve millage language last night, so there will be a request for 2 mil park millage on the August ballot to go along with the marijuana and the school election. So it's gonna be a pretty heavy ballot. Other than that, not a whole lot. Oh, they did approve hiring a park director position. They're gonna try it this year tentatively. 35 to 40 hours a week during the busy season. And that will hopefully put basically a full-time lifeguard there, which will save them hiring another one. They're really trying to save some money. They've got a great bunch of gals that make up the park board and coming up with some really good ideas and trying to scale back on spending and getting the most bang for their buck. So,
Get someone to wear a few different hats and.
yep. So that looks pretty good. That's all I got.
Good, very good. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate everyone's commissioner reports. Nathan, your administrator report, please.
Thank you. So attended a conference last week through MMR, Mayor Risk Liability Insurance Company. They had a lot of good topics, a lot of discussion about AI. Every conference I go to, a lot of discussion about AI. It's here to stay. Really, a lot of their focus was, though, having policies so that you protect your organization from employees going in and doing something they shouldn't be doing or sharing information maybe they shouldn't, and going over appropriate uses for it. Educational piece. So it's something I came back and talked to Scott Paul's our IT director about. I think it's something we need to continue. I brought it up at a department head meeting probably about 6 months ago. I don't think there was a whole lot of I don't know if I'd say interest, but I don't know that there was a whole lot of use going on, but I think we're going to have to cover it because it's just going to become so much more prevalent over time. And even if department heads aren't using it, I do believe employees are going to start using it. So I think we just need to put some parameters in place so that we don't get information out there that shouldn't be. They also talked about some things going on in Michigan. They had a speaker there, talked about sustainability of Michigan and what's kind of gone on under the current leadership, fixing the roads and things like that. Some different money that's been kind of pushed out into projects and how we support that long term. We've got an aging population, our population's on the decline. Where does that leave Michigan years from now? So something, I think what hit home to me is thinking about that even as we do things is, looking at, there's an initial cost and sometimes there's grant dollars or things out there for stuff, but how do we maintain those things long-term? Those are always things that sometimes people don't think about. So, and they talked about, and it was in our MAC, update, the Constitutional Convention, which can take place this year. And that was something I learned about, learning that can happen every 16 years. It goes to the voters, gives the, people the ability to then, essentially rewrite the state constitution, which could be a huge deal. I don't know that that's even ever come close in a vote, but, it is something that can only happen every 16 years. So you only see the opportunity so many times in your lifetime. Would be interesting if that were to go through. I don't know what that would look like with the climate of our current government, but contract is resolved with the corrections union. We'll go over that today. And a couple alternative energy project updates. I talked to a few of you about, and some of you may be aware, the laydown yard has been created for Watertown down, if you go down Miller and turn at Campbell. It's there, some equipment's being hauled in, and I learned yesterday that Fremont and Speaker project was sent to the state. They couldn't reach an agreement with the townships themselves, so that project was sent to the state. It sounds like the beginning of February, so we'll see where that goes, and that'll give some guidance, I think, for projects in the future to some degree, so. And that's all I have.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Nathan?
Nathan, did they say what percentage or how many people dropped in the state of Michigan over the last 3-4 years?
I don't know that. I just hear pretty regularly that due to our aging population and we're not getting an influx of people, that our overall our population just keeps going down. So
Very good. Thank you for your report, Nathan. Moving on to public comments pertaining to the agenda. Are there any public comments pertaining to the agenda today? Seeing none, I'm going to move on. Next up, we have presentations. We have our drug task force. Lieutenant Mike Morris here to give us the 2025 annual report. Lieutenant, welcome.
I know you guys had copies attached to your packet, but just so you have a copy for your own.
Jody doesn't let us have colors, so.
I'll save these.
I understand.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Lieutenant, do I get one?
That's why I had it.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, do you want me to?
I can share.
No, I got my copy of it. Thank you.
Hey, 100 years, no, forget about it. Don't worry.
I'm sure. No, I appreciate you guys having me. I just wanted to fill you in kind of where things ended up last year. As you know, the drug task force is millage funded. I was over here a month or so ago for the language on the millage, as this is a renewal year. So kind of something here for us. I'm sure you have all had a chance to kind of look through and see what the drug task force did. What I'd like to point out to people when I go to meetings, everybody looked at the drug task force as the people that are assigned at the drug task force. And they don't know necessarily the behind the scenes part of the drug task force. So I try to make a push of there's the enforcement unit of the drug task force, but there's also the prevention and education side of the drug task force as well. And money's being spent on different services to the schools, to our youth in our community, to try to educate them on the dangers and presence of drugs that are accessible to them. And if there's somebody involved in that, the prevention services that are available to kind of help them get out of that niche. So that first page just explains who all the working parts are involved in the drug task force. Some information I didn't have for you when I was over here about the millage language. About 10% of the budget, so that you guys know, is tied to the education and prevention side. 70% or so is tied to the enforcement side. And then the other 20% is operational expenses between all three working parts. So just so that you guys have that for future reference as far as where that money breakup is at. On the next page, the enforcement side of it, again, that is the personnel that are assigned at the drug task force. And that includes the K9 handler and K9 as well. The purpose of the enforcement side of the drug task force is obviously the collection of information, the analyzing of the information, and the enforcement of trying to handle the tips or curb the presence of the drugs that are in our county or being brought into our county. The enforcement side consists of the lieutenant, a sergeant that oversees the deputies there, 4 deputies, including the K9 handler and the administrative assistant. One thing I wanted to point out on the enforcement side of it is through the next handful of pages, as far as the numbers and stuff go, we did see an uptick across the board with stuff. What I'm going to tie that to is the way I document things. Last year was my first year over there. The way I document things and pushing our group to be a proactive group and engage in the community. Us being engaged in the community means people are in contact with us. And when we're in contact with people, people talk to us and provide information. If we're not out in the public and not doing that stuff, obviously those numbers are going to be lower. So that's why you're going to see a handful of these numbers are higher. I would expect that they will hopefully not increase a ton because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing if they increase too much, right? But they should stay pretty level across there, again, from the way I did. So looking through those charts on the next pages of enforcement, tips received, as you can see, up significantly. One huge benefit is that we combined our resources with the sheriff's office as far as using the sheriff's office app and a submit a tip feature on the app and on the new county website. There's not a week that goes by that we don't get 2 or 3 tips coming in from those 2 resources. So huge, it may be information we're already aware of, but again, it counts as information. And if we've got information coming from multiple sources, the information's factual. If I hear the same name 2 or 3 times in a week or a couple week period, there's obviously something going on there. But as you can see, those tips are up. Again, that's our involvement with the community and working with the community and getting that information. Complaints was up significantly last year compared to the year prior. Again, if I'm receiving the information, I'm being proactive, the numbers obviously are going to increase along with that. One thing I do want to note so that you guys are aware is the searches. On the next page, you see that that's significantly higher. The reason that's higher is that was previously being reported as strictly search warrants. I include in there anytime our K9 is conducting a search, and if someone gives me consent to search, those are still all searches. So that's one of the documentation things of the way that I report items. Guys and gals were busy with the rest. As you can see, that number was up significantly as well. That just correlates directly to the number of complaints handled. The more you handle, the odds are the more arrests are going to come from. The next couple of pages, I'll let you guys look through them, are the substances that were seized. The only thing I want to point out about that is methamphetamine continues to be the biggest issue in Sanilac County, continues to be the biggest issue in the state of Michigan, and continues to be the biggest issue in the United States. And that is because it's such a highly addictive drug and because it is so prevalent from the amount that's being shipped in, it's more accessible. I was at the drug task force as a deputy and a sergeant, and now So we went from the one pot method of cooking meth to where people were doing it locally, a gram at a time, to now we're having ounces of meth on a regular basis that we're seeing coming in. The prevalence of that, it used to be $100 a gram for methamphetamine. Now you can get an ounce for $100, which is 28 grams when you go down to four. So the amount of it, they're reducing the price because it's such a highly addictive drug. More people use it, with it being cheaper, gets them hooked on it, and now we have everybody involved in that. So you see news releases that go out every once in a while about meth and a large quantity of meth. That's not that we're not doing our jobs. We're being proactive out there. It's just so prevalent that I don't know what the answer is other than the reverse side, the education and prevention and trying to provide those services to let society and the youth know how dangerous the stuff is to try to keep them away from it on that end. The other one that was a big increase was heroin. As you can see through the last 10 years, that kind of is an up and down type of thing. So I don't think it's any, huge thing. The biggest thing is it's not heroin, it's fentanyl. So heroin, fentanyl, carfentanil, or any of the fentanyl strands are all opiates. What we used to know as heroin has just now been replaced with fentanyl. Heroin's pretty much non-existent. Fentanyl is what took that over. Unfortunately, fentanyl is 10 times stronger than heroin is, and carfentanil is 100 times stronger than that. So the amount that somebody is using at one time is just a smaller amount, but the chances of overdose are significantly increased with fentanyl and carfentanil compared to what they were with heroin. So nothing major on any of the other numbers as far as those graphs go.
Mike, have you seen, obviously your graph's pretty straightforward here, but closing the borders, that help at all with fentanyl?
Well, so in all honesty, meth is our biggest issue at the border. A lot of your fentanyl is actually coming from other countries via Canada or via mail or something like that. Some of that does come from Colombia, but the methamphetamine is, any science, any information shows you it's coming across the southern border, and that's how it's getting in, whether it's in liquid form or already in crystallized form. So has it made a difference yet? I don't. Locally, we're always a few years behind everything else. That's just the way our area works. So look, I'll let you know next year or the following year. It's just going to take that long to get to where we see the effects of that. To me, it's a no-brainer. It has to make a difference. It just hasn't in our area just yet. So, all right, on to the second prong, the education side of it. Again, some of the things that are covered through the education and the money being spent on the education part is the team program that is in the school districts throughout Sanilac County. It's really kind of amazing. Talk when you go to different trainings and you talk to other areas of the state. Team is not in every school in the state of Michigan. It's actually probably only in about half. I don't know the exact numbers, but we are blessed and lucky to have this millage to pay for that, to have the team program in our schools. We had the DARE program for years, funded by the millage, and that was replaced by team. So just so that we know, we are pretty lucky because not everyone has it. Again, the benefit of the team program, for those of you that don't know, it's not specific to drugs. Drugs are covered in it, but it's all substances, and it's all other issues that youth may come across, whether it's bullying, sexting, internet safety, dating safety, and then the substances just added to that. So the nice thing about team, for those of you around my age, when we went through school and we went through there, we had a book and we went from page 1 to page 100 and you did your chapters. And you graduated at the end. As to where this program is what the current issue is in the school. So if Sandusky School District has some big issue that pops up to where they're seeing a huge influx in the past week in vapes or something going on of that nature, the instructor or officer can go into the school with multiple different grade levels and teach lessons specific to that topic, because they are instructors in all of those topics, but it's more current issue related. The other part of the education, go ahead, Chris.
Excuse me.
Yep. The other part of the education side of it is the education for law enforcement, all law enforcement throughout the county, and the education as far as we'll do different meetings, whether it's hospital staff, fire departments, CMH, whoever calls for, kind of a current trends of what we're seeing and what's associated with it, so that we can educate them when they're doing house visits or they have patients or whatever, that they know what to look for and what certain items to look for as far as paraphernalia, what might be associated. So all of that wraps into the education side of it. Along with that, we one of the big pushes last year, I like being involved in the community, so we're trying to get more events. So you can see we did career days, we do different Halloween events, the fair, different things like that, where we're in the public eye and we can ask those questions. Normally, if we're in those situations, somebody at some point in time has a question about something, education wise, my son or daughter's involved in this, or they have a friend who's involved in this. So we're able to get some awareness information out there by attending those events. Another big thing we did last year is we headed up the Arrival Live Tour, which we got into most of the schools in Sanilac County. The hope is that we can coordinate around prom time with the rest of the schools this year and hopefully get them back here to do the rest of the schools this year. We'd like to keep that every couple of years, keep that fresh in the minds of the kids. And I think it went over pretty well at all the schools. So out of the prevention side of it, the biggest part of the prevention side is Miss Bell, Crystal Bell, with the health department. And she's a prevention educator who is available to all 7 school districts. She gets more response from some of the schools than she does from others, but on that second page that shows her report for 2025. She presented that to the drug board at our last meeting. And that bottom number in the corner, the 543, that's how many visits she had with students throughout Sanilac County and providing them educational materials, being a listening ear for them, whatever it might be. That stems strictly from the 7 schools in the county. So it's a great asset to have her and a great asset for the schools to have that available to them. The other side of prevention that really doesn't cost us a whole lot of anything other than our time is the drug take back. We've been involved with that for 12 or 15 years now. I don't know the exact amount, and it's absolutely amazing. We're down from last year, but still 435 pounds of prescription medications that were turned over to DEA last year. That's a lot. That's about a 55-gallon barrel is what that consists of. So to keep that.
I'd be wrong for this running up and out 3 flights of stairs.
To keep that out of our sewers and water systems and hands of the kids or people who should not have possession of them, it's a great thing. So that is the prevention side of it. The last page, titled financial summary. There's the two balances there. Underneath of the 2025 year-end balance is what that year-end balance was for 2024. So I tried to keep that number to a minimum. It should be noted it did increase, but it didn't increase significantly. But I was not fully staffed for the entire 2025 year. There was 6 months that I was down a person or a person and a half. So hopefully we can fully use that plus some come 2026. And a reminder for you guys, because that number is there, that when we implemented the first dog Phoenix in 2021, the selling point of that new position and the K9 was that would be funded out of carryover. And that should have dwindled each year. Unfortunately, staffing has been an issue since then. So hopefully that changes here this year where we'll stay fully staffed. And with the new dog, we'll bite into that and work that down over the career of the next dog here. So, and the last page there, again, as a reminder, I know you guys are at meetings all the time. I will be attending a bunch of meetings again this year. Please, let the citizens know what all the drug task force system, not just the uniform side or the personnel side of it, but all of the different avenues that we try to spend money to help with deterring or curbing the presence of drugs in our community. So it is a millage year, and hopefully come August we'll get through that and just keep doing good work. So
Thank you, Mike.
what questions do you have, board member?
May I have your education instructors, that group stays pretty consistent?
No. So Fred is chief at AMEO, retired this year. So he will not be there next year. And Jezequel is just doing Sandusky this year. But we will have Deputy Washi doing those two schools that he was covering. So it kind of rotates year to year. If you look in my team thing, it says that there's been multiple previous instructors that have done it. This is just the ones that did it last school year or in the year of 2025. And then actually, speaking of that, Officer O'Mara, who is handling things at Deckerville PD, he's currently at the team school this year. So that he can take over that role in Deckerville.
Good.
Any further questions for lieutenants?
And say you can tell them that your track meet's scheduled for May 7th.
And the track meet, yes, the one that was canceled last year.
That was because of Mr. Dean. He can't take water. I was ready to go.
That's one of those events. Well, and it's all springtime events, whether it's softball, baseball, or track. But that's one of those events that, depending on what school, it's beautiful. You're out there in shorts having a good time, or you're out there in Carhartts and 2 layers of Carhartts turned away from the wind and rain.
I heard Reed, and that was the person with the starter prep though, didn't show up.
She ran out of blanks.
Okay.
Come to Marletta, it's always sunny and warm in Marletta.
We're thankful to have Mr. Dean. He takes care of that every year. He does a great job with it, has for several years, and Christine obviously is there officiating every year.
Well, he was canceling like 2 days before. I says, Dan, wait till the day of, wait till the day of.
Did he listen to you?
No.
He will this year.
It's the status of Dover, the new dog.
He's pretty much ready to go.
Is he?
We introduced over at the last drug board meeting, but just to give you guys an update, even though it's off topic. the first time when we got Phoenix out at Shallow Creek, it seemed like the instructors they had, did more oriented to the way we handle stuff as far as deploying dogs on vehicles and in cars, as to where the instructors that were out there here when Deputy Diat went out there, it was more focused on the tracking and aggression side of it, to where they didn't, and he's not an aggressive dog, so don't take that wrong, but they didn't do a ton of deployments on vehicles, which is what we specifically do, or a good portion of what we do is. So she's been working since she's been back. She's been working with her master trainer, and doing some extra training and getting that honed in to where it applies more to how we work. Great dog, doing good. So no concerns there. But if you saw in the news that we had Lapeer County or we had Border Patrol, that was just, either she was gone at training or working through making sure that he's good to go before we start using him back capacity. Anything else? I think that's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Excellent annual report.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's going to conclude presentations for today. I see no need for appointments to standing committees or county chair appointments. It's going to move us directly into general resolutions. And this is related to drug task force. We have two resolutions today for retirement of canines. The first one be a resolution honoring the retirement of Canine Phoenix, and Commissioner Ballard is going to read that.
I believe we have a couple of guests. So.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, they're here? Okay.
I think we're only gonna want to bring one in at a time because did Phoenix and your seed on my line?
No?
No, not very much.
Two guests, both of them.
Yeah, two both good.
Whatever's easier for you guys. If you want to come in here one at a time, that's fine.
Phoenix.
Yep, this is Phoenix.
Hi, Phoenix.
Phoenix, who's the?
Haven't seen him in a while.
No way.
Beautiful dog.
I'd have known you were coming on raw treats.
Gary's got a milk.
Very good hand. He'll do this.
Go ahead.
Right? Okay. Whereas Canine Phoenix of Belgian Malinois was acquired by the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office in January 2021 through funding provided by the St. Louis County Drug Task Force millage, demonstrating the community's commitment to proactive crime prevention and public safety. And whereas throughout his years of dedicated service, Canine Phoenix exemplified courage, discipline. I love this dog. And I haven't been around him much, but and unwavering loyalty in the performance of law enforcement duties, playing a vital role in protecting the citizens of St. Louis County and supporting narcotics enforcement, patrol operations, and public safety initiatives. And whereas Canine Phoenix's service stands as a direct reflection of the value and impact of the St. Louis County Drug Task Force millage and the partnership between the citizens of St. Louis County, the St. Louis County Sheriff's Department, and law enforcement agencies working together to combat illegal drug activity and promote safer communities. And whereas Canine Phoenix served alongside his handler, Deputy Jennifer Diat, forming a highly trained and trusted canine team that embodied professionalism, teamwork, and commitment to the mission of the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office. And whereas due to health considerations affecting his ability to continue active duty service, Canine Phoenix is being honorably retired from law enforcement service on March 3rd, 2026. And whereas it is fitting and proper that the St. Louis County Board of Commissioners formally recognize not only the faithful service of Canine Phoenix, but also the community support provided through the St. Louis County Drug Task Force millage that made his service possible. Now therefore be it resolved that the St. Louis County Board of Commissioners does hereby honor and commend Canine Phoenix for his outstanding loyal and distinguished service to the citizens of St. Louis County, and be it further resolved that Canine Phoenix is hereby granted an honorable retirement effective March 3rd, 2026, in recognition of his faithful performance of duty lasting contributions to public safety and narcotics enforcement efforts. And be it further resolved that sincere appreciation is extended from Deputy Jennifer Diat for her dedication, professionalism, and exceptional partnership in the care, training, and service of K-9 Phoenix. Who wrote this? Be it further resolved that this resolution shall be entered in the official records of the County of Sanilac as a permanent tribute to the service and sacrifice of K-9 Phoenix and the community investment made through the Sanilac County Drug Task Force millage. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the proceedings of the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners this third day of March 2026. Happy retirement.
No.
Happy retirement.
I have a resolution offered by Commissioner Ballard. Is there support? I have support from Commissioner Heberlein. Leslie, a roll call, please.
Commissioner Ballard.
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling.
Yes.
Commissioner Lee.
Yes.
Commissioner Moody.
Yes.
Commissioner Block.
Yes,
Commissioner Sarcella.
Yes.
resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Yeah, were we gonna,
You've got your hands really full now.
I do.
would it be possible for Roger to get a picture?
You wanna, I'm gonna say you wanna do Z's and then both of us up there? at the
Yeah,
same
let's do
time, or-
that. So we'll move on. We'll officially do the next resolution and then we'll get a photo. So we appreciate your patience. So the next resolution on our agenda today is a retirement of Zuzana.
Susanna. Whereas Sanilac County Board of Commissioners proudly recognize the extraordinary contributions of its law enforcement K-9 partners whose training, dedication, and service enhance public safety and support the mission of protecting the citizens of Sanilac County. And whereas K-9 Zuzana was purchased in August of 2019 from Mid-Michigan Kennels, entered service with the Sanilac County Sheriff's Office as a dual-purpose narcotics detection K-9, and whereas K-9 Zuzana and then Corrections Deputy James Anderson successfully completed an intensive 5 weeks basic K-9 academy, demonstrating exceptional discipline, reliability, and operational readiness. And whereas upon graduation, K-9 Zuzana and Deputy Anderson were assigned to the Sanilac County Jail, where they provided vital narcotic detection capabilities, enhanced institutional safety, and serve as a vulnerable resource in maintaining the secure correctional environment. And whereas throughout her years of service, K-9 Zuzana exemplified the highest standards of working K-9 professionalism, contributing to the safety of staff, inmates, and the broader community while strengthening the Sheriff's Office mission. And whereas after her faithful and distinguished service, K-9 Zuzana will officially retire effective April 1st, 2026, concluding a career marked by dedication, loyalty, and dependable performance. And whereas in recognition of the strong bond formed through the years of partnership and service, K-9 Zuzana will retire to the care of Sergeant James Anderson and his family, where she will enjoy a well-deserved life of comfort and companionship. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners hereby express its sincere gratitude and appreciation to K-9 Zuzana for her honorable service to the Sanilac County Sheriff's Office and the citizens of Sanilac County. Be it further resolved that the Board of Commissioners commends Sergeant James Anderson for his partnership, commitment, and care of K-9 Zuzana, both during her active service and into retirement. And be it further resolved that the Sanilac County Board of Commissioners formally recognize April 1st, 2026 as the official retirement date of K-9 Zuzana and extends its best wishes for her continued well-being and enjoyment in retirement, adopted by the San Luis County Board of Commissioners this third day of March 2026.
I have a resolution offered by Commissioner Moody. Is there support for it? I have support by Commissioner Ballard. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Leslie, roll call, please.
Commissioner Moody,
Yes.
Commissioner Ballard,
Yes.
Commissioner Sarcella,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberling.
Yes.
Commissioner Lee,
Yes.
and Commissioner Black.
Yes. Resolution is adopted. Thank you, Leslie.
I was lucky enough to be part of be there when Z came in. I call her Z all the time, came into service, so. Our Sergeant Anderson would bring her in my office once in a while, and I was always, let me just give her some kind of a treat. Let me give her some kind, no, you're not giving her a treat. Let me just give her some kind of treat. I was gonna bring some today, but she's still officially working, so I didn't.
Sorry, Dad.
How old are the dogs?
Phoenix is about to be 7. She is 7.
Used to, when they came in for the day, they would always walk by my office, so I got to see her on a lot of times whenever he was working day shift and stuff. It was
Made your day.
a great addition to the correction staff, that's for sure.
We appreciate you bringing them in.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jody can take a picture. If Roger, if you and John want to get photos with the dogs.
How do you want?
Where do you want us?
Fine. If they put the two commissioners in the middle. Yeah, put the.
Take off running the hills. We can get our hurries.
I'll ask
Some people a half mile.
Hey, John, Roger, do you guys want to hold the resolutions up or where do you?
Phoenix.
Yeah, we'll just make it look like we're holding something. Yeah.
Sure, we'll hurry up there.
No, I'm thinking, oh, we'll try.
Put the commissioners in the middle.
Sit.
Now, let's just like little kids, gotta put it in. All right.
Picture fast and go.
Okay, smile, come on, look out.
Virgin.
There we go. I got it.
Thank you.
Great idea. Oh, don't tell where it came from.
Oh, yeah.
Does they have a copy for them?
I'll sign these ones and then they'll get.
Thanks to you both.
Thank you. Thanks, Roger.
They don't get along very well, so.
Look, a couple of kids up there, you guys trying to get a picture and the dogs were looking at each other behind everybody.
Have 2 cats like that. They're brothers.
I'm really glad they brought the animals in. That's a very special thing.
Yeah.
That happens to have those relationships and have those animals involved. And it's great to have this county honor them the way that we could. So thank you to Roger and
Plus the
John.
trainers are taking them too.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't think that scenario could have got much better. So.
It was always fun when he came in for the day. He'd come in my office, she'd run around my office and stuff for a little bit.
When I visit the DTF, they'd have Phoenix and he'd be out of the cage and
Yeah.
Tina have him on the floor.
Go upstairs in the jail and see,
Like, yeah, that's a real badass dog.
tell you what though, if we had a problem in the jail,
Oh, yeah.
if the Z was outside the door, the Sergeant Anderson would get him barking and it would quash things pretty
All you'd
quick.
have to do is reach for the door.
Yeah,
Probably.
it usually quashed whatever issue we were having pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's a little intimidating.
Yeah.
I saw the sheriff, we met taking our taxes in. And I mentioned to him that we had this resolutions coming up I said, are the dogs gonna be there? He kind of looked at me, I said, well, if we're reading a resolution, we need to read it to the dogs.
Right. Valid point.
And so they showed up today.
That was cool.
Very good. All right, that's going to conclude resolutions for today. So that's going to drop us into committee reports and we'll start with Commissioner Ballard.
I had a CMH board meeting last week and it's been kind of starting back up this week.
Sounds good. Gary?
Yeah, we had our MMPC informational meeting on the 19th at over on 95 Dawson Street. Not a big turnout. We had a few people and it was good information meeting.
If you had to just shoot from the hip, how many townships do you think were represented? 10, 5?
One,
Ooh, okay.
two people, one township.
From the hip.
Well, no need.
Right.
Yeah, okay, well,
Yeah, he just fired a blank. Yeah, Lee. Two from one township.
well, we'll be, and I think we kind of discussed that too, that though, when we're going out to the townships, we can also be and help you out with that a little bit by mentioning this is something for them to get involved in at some point.
Right now, there's really no monetary, input that's needed by a township. So that's kind of,
Until there's some, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, and didn't they? Am I remembering right? They've changed it to where they will have to front the money and then get reimbursed from.
Correct.
Yeah.
no,
State.
yeah.
These townships just don't have that money laying around.
Yeah, MMPC is fronting the money, not all of it, as we spend it, we, have to get it back, but, yeah, so. And we don't have no idea how long it's gonna last. It could last 2 years, 3 years, it could be whatever.
Anything else here?
No, that's it, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bill?
Transportation had a food drive last month. 330 families were involved. So that's a good thing. They use their building for that. One of the newer buses had the engine blow up, so that's going to be under warranty from Ford at Tubbs. They're getting that done. And they have a credit card machine that's now in place, so that's been helping folks that want to pay for their rides that way. And one of the buses had a sugar beet take out a side window. Fortunately, nobody was in it though, or at least sitting in front of that window. But yeah, a side window, not even a front one. There's been some concern about that with the way the beat trucks have been running. So we'll have some more discussion on that in the future with the sheriff and the road commission.
I think I recall years ago that being a major issue, and the road commission had a meeting and tried to bring in some of the truckers to try to explain that, the dual chrome stacks of 8 inches of diameter don't need to be making all kinds of noise coming into every town, the speeds and things like that. So maybe they need to pull something like that together again.
Yeah, I know when I hauled beats, I always walked the ridge and made sure they were all tucked in. I didn't want to have one come off and do something it didn't need to do.
Right. Yeah, somebody could be seriously hurt.
Yeah,
Tell somebody.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Christine?
I have nothing.
Okay, yes, you do. Negotiations team.
Oh. Okay,
So I'll do it for you. I wasn't here. I was on vacation, but Christine and Nathan, as you guys know, we have that coming up at the end of the meeting, and I just want to commend Nathan and Christine on all the work that they did through the negotiations. It feels good to be where we're at. Have that stuff completed. So thank you for what you did. That's all I have. John?
I have no report, but Roger and I have Michigan Works next Friday. And unfortunately, I was not able to go to my medical care facility. I just was not feeling good and didn't want to take whatever I
It's a
had.
great place to
in
not
there.
go to when you're not feeling well. So wise choice, I bet.
Yeah, and then I went to the Worth Township meeting the other night instead of the emergency management, so.
Very good. I appreciate everyone's committee reports. I see no need for unfinished business, so let's move directly into new business, and that's going to start out today with FA 036-26, approval of current claims.
Sand Lake County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the payment of current claims identified on the accounts payable report dated February 24th, 2026 for the general bank account in the amount of $217,951.89.
support.
I have a motion from Finance Chairman Sarkella, support from Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 037-26, budget adoptions, amendments, appropriations, and transfers.
Sand Lake County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the following amendments and establishes the following accounts as listed.
Support.
Motion from Finance Chairman Sarkella, support from Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 038-26, authorization and award bid for flooring in the Health Department.
Sand Lake County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes the awards Flooring Edge Incorporated the bid for replacement of flooring in the Health Department's clinic area at a cost not to exceed $16,250 with funding from the building and grounds budget.
Support.
I have a motion from Finance Chairman Sarkella, support by Commissioner Moody. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 039-26, approval of memorandum of understanding for reduction of hours.
Sand Lake County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the memorandum of understanding between Sand Lake County and the TPOAM General Bargaining Union establishing a 4-day 32-hour work week for Gail McConaughey, accounting specialist.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, support from Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 040-26, approval of agreement for transfer of ownership for K-9 in the Sheriff's Office.
Sand Lake County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the agreement for transfer of ownership of K-9 between County of Sand Lake County Sheriff's Office, and Jennifer Diot, Deputy and K-9 Handler, as presented, and further authorizes the board chairman to sign the necessary agreement.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, supported from Commissioner Ballard. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 041-26, approval of agreement for transfer of ownership for a K-9 in the Sheriff's Office.
Sand Lake County Board of Commissioners hereby approves the agreement for transfer of ownership of K-9 between the County of Sand Lake County Sheriff's Office, and James Anderson, Correction Division Sergeant and K-9 Handler, as presented, and further authorizes the board chairman to sign the necessary agreement. Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, supported by Commissioner Moody. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 042-26, authorization of subscription for the Gen 911.
Sand Lake County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes a 1-year subscription for this Gen 911, a training tool utilized for new hires and veterans dispatchers at a cost not to exceed $5,000 with funding from the 911 millage. Support.
Was that you, Gary?
Yeah.
I got a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, supported by Commissioner Heberlein. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Moving on to FA 043-26, authorization to purchase flags and markers for Veterans Affairs.
Sand Lake County Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes the Veterans Affairs Director to purchase 40 gross flags from National Flag and Display Company Incorporated at a cost of $5,760, and to purchase 362 markers from New England Flag Manufacturing Company at a cost of $2,115.10 for a total cost not to exceed $7,875.10 with funding from the Veterans Affairs millage for immediate approval.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, supported by Commissioner Lee. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Lastly, today, new business, we have NFA 003-26, and that is acceptance of the Drug Task Force Annual Report.
Sand Lake County Board of Commissioners hereby accepts the Sand Lake County 2025 Drug Task Force Annual Report as presented.
Support.
I got a motion from Commissioner Sarkella, support from Commissioner Heberlein.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion? Hearing
Thank you for the report.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. That's going to conclude new business today, so I'm going to open it up to general public comments. Are there any general public comments? Seeing none, we are going to move on. The board is going to go into closed session. I don't foresee that closed session being for very long. The only thing that will happen within this meeting coming out of closed session would be the approval of a contract negotiation. So anybody who wants to stick around and come back in, you're welcome to. Also, the finance meeting will happen after the BOC meeting. So with that said, I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of negotiations.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Ballard, support from Commissioner Sarkella to go into closed session for the purpose of negotiations. Leslie, roll call, please.
Commissioner Block,
Yes.
Commissioner Ballard,
Yes.
Commissioner Heberlein.
Yes.
Commissioner Sarkella.
Yes.
Commissioner Lee.
Yes.
Commissioner Moody.
Yes.
We are in closed session.
Just